So often we get asked by prospective parents, people who visit Derryfield, about our learner's portrait and what those skills are all about. And it was born probably about 5 or 6 years ago. Schools do a great job of identifying skills by disciplines, but we recognize that there are skills too often referred to as soft skills within schools that we know are often more important, at least as important as the skills that they learn in their individual disciplines. So we began there by talking about the skills that we had always valued, but we really wanted to use them to shape our work forward. And these are skills that we try to teach across disciplines inside the classroom and outside of the classroom. And clearly, these are all aspirational. We certainly don't expect Derryfield middle school students to come in any of the grades and be all 8 of those, but we want to make sure that within our curriculum we are designing that is the goal that we keep in mind for all of our students in the middle school. What the Learner's Portrait allowed us to do was to then look at all of our programs within the middle school under that context. So for example, as a Derryfield student, I am an organized, self-directed learner. We could ask the really important critical question, what would that look like? And what are we doing within our middle school program to promote and develop those sorts of skills? So that allowed us to, at each grade level, to come up with key points that we wanted to get students to achieve. What goes in 6th grade and then the full arc of that into 8th grade, you can see that we expect more development at that point. Developing these allowed us to think of key points for each grade level, and then also to unify our program to make sure that we were developing these skills throughout. So when you think of the skills that run through the learner's portrait, a big piece of it is how do we assess those skills? And certainly teachers play a pivotal role, both by the students we have in our classroom, but maybe even more so as advisors with that group of students that we get to know really, really well and help direct. But it's also super critical for middle schoolers at that age. They're at that developmental age where they can start being able to understand themselves through self-discovery, to get to the point where they can look at themselves somewhat objectively and recognize where their own strengths and weaknesses and passions may be. And through the program, it really paves the way for them to enter the upper school and then start the Pathways program, which is just a nice extension of them after they've taken what I call the great salad bar of choices through the middle school, where they get a chance to sample everything that's in front of them, to then really decide what it is that they really start to like and pursue some of those passions in more independent ways in the upper school. So it really lends themselves in 9th grade when they start the Pathways program to know a lot about themselves and to be able to develop a program of study that they'll follow starting in 9th grade through senior year.